What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today we've got another Johnny Cash reaction. We're up to American 3, Solitary Man. I've already done the first two for our patron, longtime supporter, and friend of the channel, Carl. Thank you, Carl. I've really enjoyed this Cash journey so far, and we're going to continue it month by month. So this album was released on October 17, 2000 by American Recordings, the third album, as I said, in the series. Between American 2, Unchained, and American 3, Solitary Man, Cash's health declined due to various ailments. He's even hospitalized for pneumonia, and the illness forced him to curtail his touring. This album contained Cash's response to his illness, typified by a version of Tom Petty's I Won't Back Down, as well as a version of U2's One. I love both of those songs and both of those artists. Changes to Cash's voice due to his health problems are noticeable in most tracks when compared to his most recent preceding albums. 3 songs featured on the album had previously been recorded by Cash. I'll note those whenever we get to them. Album peaked at 11 on the U.S. Billboard Top Country charts and at 88 on the U.S. Billboard 200. So before we jump into this, the music will not be in the video, but it'll be at a link below, so go check that out. I'll have the lyrics up as always. Thank you, Carl. And we're going to start it off with I Won't Back Down. Tom Petty's on this with him. He contributes vocals. It was written by Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne. It was released in April of '89 as the lead single from his first solo album, Full Moon Fever, which there is a full reaction up to that. Search for it after this. Reached 12 on the Billboard Hot 100 for Petty, and just, man, what a fantastic song. Can't wait to hear Johnny's take on it. A nice one there. Yeah, I'll tell you, I was really struck by the difference in Johnny's voice. It's not bad, but you can definitely tell. It's weaker, I guess. I mean, I hate to even say it, but I mean, this man's in here getting it done. And I mean, what a song to open the album with because of the health problems of what, look, man, I'm here. I'm going to fight the good fight. Petty comes in and gives him a little help, bumps it up there. But as I said on the previous 2 albums, these songs have a different gravity to them because it is an older man in the waning years of his life. It just makes it that much more powerful. And I mean, that song is great. Now we're up to Solitary Man, what the album was named after. The song was originally written by Neil Diamond, who himself initially recorded the song for Bang Records in late January 1966. It's been covered a lot of times. Johnny's version, it's also got Petty on here helping him out, and received a Grammy Award for Best Male Country Vocal Performance. All right, Solitary Man. I really enjoyed that one. Tom comes in again, Petty comes in again, and really bumps up the chorus in there. Just has a nice sound to it, just like he did on the second album. I just think it's pretty cool Tom was there to kind of jump in and help Johnny out. I like this song. I don't think I've ever heard the song. Obviously, I mean, it's a different interpretation of the original versions that were probably covered and that Neil did, but I don't think I've heard it. But the basic premise of it is these women keep cheating on Johnny, and until he can find one that'll be faithful to him, he's just going to be a solitary man. Don't know that I will, but until I can find me a girl who'll stay and won't play games behind me, I'll be what I am, a solitary man. The way he does that is just is fantastic. So that's a really good track. Probably already going to end up on my favorites. I'm already going to call it. Now we're going to dial it way back. We got That Lucky Old Sun, in parentheses, just rolls around heaven all day. It's a 1949 popular song with music by Beasley Smith and words by Haven Gillespie. All right, we got some names back in the day. Okay, once again, this is one of those songs that really does have power because of Johnny's age and what he was going through. That lucky old sun just rolls around heaven all day. He talks how he's working out there, sweating away for the devil, man, just doing all this hard work. And then the second verse, he talks about toiling away, for his wife and messing with his kids and all of that stuff. And really, he just wants to be kind of taken to the promised land. Like, there's got to be a better thing than this, right? Let that silver lining cloud come down. There's got to be something better than this. He kind of is calling out to the Lord, knowing that there are better things out there, and he's ready to go. So I don't know if he's ready to die. I think he's ready to have a better life and kind of get out of this roller coaster. Well, now we are up to a song I'm very familiar with, possibly U2's best song. I don't know. I mean, that's a big debate there, but we got one written, of course, by U2, which is Bono, Adam Clayton, The Edge, and Larry Mullen. U2's is 62 on the Rolling Stones 500 Greatest Songs of All Time. In 2005, Blender ranked the song at number 4 on the list of the 500 Greatest Songs Since You Were Born. And the readers of Q voted it the 5th greatest song in history. So those are all U2's version. I was letting you know, like, this song is very well acclaimed. Whether you like U2, whether you don't, this song is pretty much universally acclaimed. So very interesting to see Johnny's take on it. One, it sounded almost like an organ on there. I don't know if it's Benmont Tench. I don't know if the Heartbreaker's still in it, because there's no There's no musician credits on here, unfortunately, that I could find. I'll do a little more digging here before I go on to the next song. But I enjoyed that. It's weird because I know that song like super, super well, so I can still hear Bono singing it in my head. But I thought Johnny did a good job with, I haven't talked about the instrumentation of this album. I mean, I just talked about the organ because mainly it's just acoustic. Solitary Man had a nice dueling acoustic that was fantastic, but I thought, it worked on this with just the acoustic and that slight bit of organ. Now we go to Nobody, which had a very interesting story that I'm going to share with you in the background of the song. It's a popular song with music by Burt Williams and lyrics by Alex Rogers, published in 1905. The song was first publicly performed in February of 1906 in the Broadway production Abyssinia. I probably messed that up, but the show, which included live camels, premiered at the Majestic Theater and continued the string of hits for the vaudeville team of Williams and Walker. The song itself embodies the struggle that Burt Williams and George Walker went through during their lives, both as citizens and performers on the vaudeville stage. As black men living during the Jim Crow era, when blacks were openly disenfranchised, they used their platform to protest against flagrant racism. Off the stage, they were accomplished individuals who tried to separate themselves as distinguished and sophisticated, thus defying the pervasive stereotypes of black men. Traveling as a performer, Williams faced issues with hotels not letting him use the same elevators or facilities as whites, and white performers not wanting to perform with him. He took those experiences to the stage with him, giving the audience his real life that they could relate to. As the businessman of the group, Walker was in charge of managing and handling the dealings of Williams and Walker Company. He likewise experienced the realities of being black in a business that did not cater to black performers. Trying to combat their own realities and the known conditions of blacks in America, they used this song as a statement. Debuting in that musical I talked about, the song was part of an effort to regain legitimacy and agency for the black community. Williams uses Nobody as the counter to the stereotype that whites had about blacks at the time. During slavery, many stereotypes were formed to justify the racist action against blacks to keep them at the bottom of the social totem pole. Stemming from images, phrases, and common beliefs, the stereotypes held power and weight as they were the force in the background behind much of the daily encounters that whites had with blacks, even after the end of slavery. So I tell you that whole story, one, because I think it's important. I didn't know anything about it. Two, to understand the types of songs that Johnny and Rick were choosing for these albums. They didn't just haphazardly choose stuff. I think everything was chosen for a purpose and kind of shows you where they stand for those things. Once again, great acoustic work on here. I did find it. So Mike Campbell, the Heartbreakers, are Ben Montench was on that organ in one and all that good stuff. Petty actually played an organ in I Won't Back Down, just a little slight organ there. So I did find that stuff, guys. Usually I have that locked and loaded, but I realized what I was looking at didn't have it on there. Usually it has it on there song by song. This song itself, it's a sad song, but it's just fantastic, man, because this guy, man, like nobody has helped this guy. When life seems full of clouds and rain and I'm full of nothing but pain, who soothes my thumping, bumping brain? Nobody. Wintertime comes, he's hungry, he's got cold feet. Who says, here's 2 bits, go and eat? Nobody. And then that chorus, well, I've never done nothing to nobody. I've never got nothing from nobody no time. And until I get something from somebody sometime, I don't intend to do nothing for nobody no time. And then the summer draws near and his friends seem coming. Who offers him a beer? Nobody. And then one time when things was looking bright, I started a whittling on a stick one night. Who said, hey, that's dynamite? Nobody. So this guy cannot catch a break. I could kind of hear Johnny chuckle a little bit on that part because that part's funny. I mean, it's not, but it is. So a well-written song, when you understand the context, it was written in like no one was on these guys' side. It holds a little more power. Now we're up to the song I See a Darkness. Will Oldham is on this song. He also wrote this song. I don't know who Will is, but he's on here with Johnny. Okay, this is one of those songs with Johnny that just takes on just a freaking powerful meaning just from the lyrics and just everything that Johnny went through in his life. He suffered with a lot of darkness and a lot of demons that came after him and caused him issues in his life, but he always fought back against them. And man, I thought, like I said, Will Oldham was in here coming in on the chorus to punch it up. Here's what Will said about the meaning of the song. He said, I guess there was a girl once in high school that said there were 2 ways of painting yourself or seeing yourself. One was an essentially good person who tries to do evil in the world, or is an essentially evil person who tries to do good in the world. And she asked which one I thought. And I think I thought the latter, an essentially evil person who tries to do good in the world. That's basically what the song's about. The death issue is more prevalent when you hear Johnny Cash sing it, but I definitely never thought about the death association with that song. Concerning the experience of recording this with Johnny, here's what Will said. It was so unreal, a feeling that I didn't really know what it was like. It was very much just trying to stay on the ball the whole time, just trying to keep my brain together, which took a lot of effort. because it was a marriage of things. I couldn't, in some ways, it felt too good to be true, really. That's what it felt like. I feel very strongly about his version. I got a lot out of listening to it, to that version of it. And, in the song, the protagonist is talking to his friend and just all the stuff they've been through. And he says, but you can see its opposition come rising up sometimes. That its dreadful imposition comes blacking in my mind. And then they sing together, and I see a darkness 4 times. Did you know how much I love you? Is a hope that somehow you can save me from this. So he's coming out to his friend, man. It's not to a girlfriend or any of that stuff. It's to his friend. Can you save me from this? And then verse 2, well, I hope that someday, buddy, we have peace in our lives, together or apart, alone or with our wives. We can stop our whoring and pull the smiles inside and light it up forever and never go to sleep, my best unbeating brother. This isn't all I see. And then you get to see, oh no, I see a darkness. Wow. So, this song was incredibly powerful, and having Johnny on here added to it tremendously, and having Will come in on the chorus, I thought added to it tremendously, since it's a guy singing to his friend, a brother to a brother. Now we're up to a song that I absolutely love, the original. You got the Mercy Seat. It's a song written by Nick Cave and Mick Harvey, Mick Harvey did the music and Cave did the lyrics and music. Originally performed by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds on the 1988 album Tender Prey, which, if you're following along with our album, or year by year album draft that Trey and I are on, Nick Cave appears with Tender Prey on 88 and on several other years. Cash stated he heard the song after seeing the news about executions in Texas and that more attention should be paid to capital punishment. Johnny said, quote, if a man's been there 25 years, maybe we should consider whether or not he's become a good human being, and do we still want to kill him? That's some powerful stuff right there. Johnny's version features guitar, organ, and piano accompaniment. Nick Cave commented on Cash's cover in a number of interviews. He said, quote, like all the songs he does, he made it his own. He's a great interpreter of songs. That's part of his genius. These are the things that can't be taken away from you. He called it a personal high point. He said, quote, it doesn't matter what anyone says, remarked Cave proudly. Johnny Cash recorded my song. I love it, man, and I love this song. The Mercy Seat. I like how there was a 1-minute coda, right? An outro on this, which you haven't had on the other ones, just with that organ and piano that Ben Montench just does so masterfully on here. This song is kind of like one, right? I know it so well, and the original is so, so good. It's interesting to hear somebody else interpret it, even Johnny. I liked it. It was just, it's different for me. A lot of these other songs I don't know, or I don't know that well, but the performance by Nick Cave on this vocally is unreal. So they did a very good job on the chorus of upping the atmosphere, right, and the mood, because Nick really goes hard on the chorus. And so with here, Johnny went a little bit harder. But, his voice is, he's over here doing what he can do. But they pumped it up with the organ in there and made you feel that mercy seat is coming, right? Because the song is fantastically written, because it's a dichotomy of this guy's been sentenced to the electric chair. So that's the mercy seat. But then also the mercy seat is the seat of the Lord, that he thinks he's going to go and come before the throne, right? So throughout the song, and each verse, he addresses both things. So well done. I thought Johnny did such a good job on this one. Now to number 8. Would you lay with me, in parentheses, in a field of stone, written by David Allan Coe and recorded by American country artist Tanya Tucker, who had a #1 hit with it. Would you lay with me in a field of stone? A very good selection for Johnny and his voice at this time. And he just delivers it in such a wise way. And he's asking this woman, if all of these things happen, basically, will you do life for me, no matter how good it is, no matter how bad it is? Will you stand by my side? So I think a very powerful song done just with the acoustic and Johnny in here and that classic voice. Next up is Field of Dreams, written by Johnny and Jack Wesley Routh. Backing vocals by June Carter Cash and Sheryl Crow, who will show up on a couple tracks on here in a little bit. Produced and recorded by Johnny with Waylon Jennings for their 1986 album Heroes. Field of Diamonds, I said it during the reaction, a more country song, especially when the female vocals. When June Carter Cash comes in, she has a real country sound to her. That's not anything bad. And you can hear Sheryl in there a little bit too. And just a field of diamonds in the sky. Worlds are whirling right on by. Are you wondering who I am? Fields of diamond in the sky. Am I just a star in some crown, or someone's life going down, down, down? Silent beauty shining through. Are you tears? The angels cry. Field of diamonds in the sky. So a well-written song and a good performance from Johnny. Now up to Before My Time, written by Johnny. I don't have anything else on this song. Before My Time, just a nice love song written, acknowledging the fact that love's basically been around forever. It's in old dusty books that they were singing songs about love long before the radio. But in verse 4, he kind of gets to it. But what the old time masters had is what I feel for you. Love is love and doesn't change in a century or two. If somehow they had seen and knew how it would be for me and you, they'd wish for love like yours and they would wish for love like mine before my time. So just saying, our love transcends all of this. It's like the greatest love of all time. So just a fantastic way to kind of fold all this together in 4 verses with the acoustic, with Johnny's authoritative voice. I was hanging on the next line as he was unfolding a fantastic story. Over to a very short track, 1:46, shortest track I think so far in any of these 3 American recordings from my recollection. Country Trash, written by Johnny, was previously recorded by him for his 1973 album, Any Old Wind That Blows. Country Trash, a nice little throwback to Johnny in 1973, right? He's just basically talking about the country lifestyle, saying he's doing all right for country trash, and then he hits it really well at the end. He said, "And God's got a heaven for country trash. I'll be doing all right for country trash." He says right before that, "But we'll all be equal under the grass because we're all going to come in this earth the same way and go out the same way." Might be going to different places, but Johnny basically saying, "Don't judge me. You're no better than me," without having to come out and say that. So some beauty in that songwriting. Now up to Mary of the Wild Moor, written by Dennis Turner, Sheryl Crow on accordion. Mary of the Wild Moor. Wow, what a story, right? Not a feel-good story or anything, but the accordion in there by Sheryl Crow is nice. I said it during, I felt like I was listening to the Pogues, and there's a reason for that, because it's a 19th century popular song that today is known as an old folk ballad. It first appeared on broadside sheets in England in the early 19th century. By all accounts, it's very popular. At least 36 printers, not only from London, but from all over Britain, have published the song. Johnny covered a specific version. This is of the Lovin' Brothers version of this song, which was published in 1956. It was basically this girl comes, she's got a child in her arms, I'm assuming a baby or a young child in her arms, and she comes to her father's door and is knocking. It's cold, right? And of course there's wind blowing across the wild moor, but her dad can't hear, so he ignores all that. He can't hear anything. He opens the door the next day, and his daughter's laying there dead. The child's still alive. He dies from grief. The child soon goes to join the mother, so the child soon dies. And no one, they say at the very end, lives there to this day, and the cottage to ruin is gone, but the villagers point out the spot where the willows grew over the door, saying, "There Mary died once the gay village bride from the wind that blows across the wild moor." So she froze to death. Wow, man, what a song, what a heavy song. It fits him at this time of his life. He could deliver it very powerfully. All right, we got 2 tracks left. This one is I'm Leaving Now. Merle Haggard is on here. Johnny wrote this. Merle on vocals and guitars. Was previously recorded by Cash for his 1985 album Rainbow. I'm Leaving Now. Nice little throwback with Merle Haggard joining him on vocals and some guitar in here, and probably some good times for these guys as they were in their later years of life and had done a lot of stuff together in the past. So basically the story is they just trade off the vocals of, all this stuff this woman did. They're leaving now. They'll see her later, basically, is the gist of it. It works well. I think it works well as a dual vocal here. They're just kind of joining in and having fun, letting this woman know, look, man, I'm done with you. All the stuff I put up with you, I'm leaving now. All right, we're to the final track, Wayfaring Stranger, a traditional song. It's also known as Poor Wayfaring Stranger, or I Am a Poor Wayfaring Stranger. It's a well-known American folk song, likely originating in the early 19th century, about a plaintive soul on a journey through life. As with most folk songs, many variations of the lyrics exist. Many versions have been published over time, often being linked to times of hardship and notable experiences in the singer's life. Lyrics were first published in 1858 in Joseph Bever's Christian Songster, which is a collection of popular hymns and spiritual songs of the time. This may or may not have been the first time the song appeared in English print, and the songwriter is unknown. Sheryl Crow is on accordion on this, so it might have some similar sounds to Mary of the Wild Moor. Let's finish this thing off. Wayfaring Stranger, a very fitting way to end this album, an interesting way to end this album, because Johnny's talking about going to the promised land, right, about when he passes, so an interesting sequencing. Johnny wasn't doing well health-wise. I wonder if they sequenced this here just in case this was the last album he ever did, but I don't know, I'm just speculating on that. But he talks about, I'm just a poor wayfaring stranger traveling through this world below. There's no sickness, no toil, nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my father and all my loved ones who've gone on. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm going over home. And then he talks about, I know dark clouds will gather around me. I know my way is hard and steep. But beauteous fields arise before me where God's redeemed their vigils keep. I'm going there to see my mother. So first verse is going to see his father. Now he's seen his mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. So I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. So great way to finish that out. Nice accordion there from Cheryl as well. Now we get to my favorite tracks. Honorable mention to the first song, I Won't Back Down, with Petty on there. I think because of the symbolism of it, because Johnny had been really sick, I like the cool way it comes out with that in the opener. I've got two faves on here, Solitary Man and I See a Darkness, the one with Will Oldham. Those are my two faves. I think those are by far the two best songs on here. Not that the album's bad at all. We're going to transition to my overall score. Like I said, I've done the first two albums. I really enjoyed those. I really like this one too. I think it's a step down for me, but it's interesting, right? Because the other two have already gone up on the channel, and seeing everybody's comments, some people were telling me this is going to be the best one, and some people say this one's a letdown. Everybody has different favorites, and that's the beauty of Johnny and these albums, right? So for me, I'm going to still be at a very solid 7.0 out of 10. Enjoyed it. We got Cash 4 coming up. A lot of people say that one is the best one. It obviously has Hurt on it and some other classics, but appreciate Carl for bringing this one. Appreciate all the patrons who support us. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out the Patreon link below, or the patron link on the end screen. We couldn't make it without you guys. Until next time, guys, I will see you.